Hey everybody, hope you're well. It's James here, and today we're going to do a 5-minute ICO review of Sovren. So what is Sovren? And hopefully this picture will really help you understand. On the left hand side we have all your traditional investments, stocks and shares. So let's take a Barclays shares for instance. So you've got your Barclays shares, and on the other side we have what we see as the future, which is a cryptocurrency. As it currently stands, you need to use your fiat, you buy Barclays shares, then you sell back into fiat. With this, you'll be able to buy Barclays shares, then switch it into Bitcoin, go to Ripple, back to some Barclays shares, so you can interact between the two. So it's creating that bridge between the two financial worlds, and in between all that there's a treasure chest of other benefits and also goodies as well, which we'll talk about as we go through the presentation. So Sovren is trying to do 4 key things. The first one is have a mobile trading platform, really tap into the millennials, really tap into this on the go. We're always on the phone. You know, we spend more time on our phones than we do watching telly, but if we took that trend back and looked 10 years ago, we spent more time watching telly than we were on our phones, because there was only Snake to play back then. There wasn't Snapchat and WhatsApp and all these types of things. There is zero commission on that. You can buy and sell all your stocks and also cryptocurrency as well. They're also introducing the pay option as well, so you can use that as a digital wallet, go pay for things. So it's really quick and easy and all under one roof. So the other key one is borrowing, and this is pretty cool. So you could have a trade portfolio that you've built up over time. You decide, you know, I want to go traveling, but I don't want to cash in my investment. It's actually, you can just take a loan against it. So, you know, you've got some assets in there that you'll be able to do that, which is pretty cool. I think longer term, when cryptocurrency sort of calms down, it's less volatile, this would be a really cool feature. So the other section is play, and they've got their interactive emotional intelligence software, which is called Zover. So you can do set up family funds and different things. Because, you know, I know my family, my mum and dad, they don't really know how to invest. They've never really invested, and if they did a few things and they always lost money. So I do quite well out of it. So maybe I could put it in the family fund and I trade it for all the family and do that on their behalf. Might cause some arguments later on, I don't know, but this seems like a really cool option if you know what you're doing. And the other thing is these guys are going after an e-money license, so they'll be fully regulated to deal with all securities. This has a very young look and feel, very social media led, which is pretty cool because it's going to interact with millennials. And I think the millennials, what they do now will be what we do naturally in the next 10 years, because they will obviously do it and then they'll just pass down to the younger generation. That will become the norm. 3 in 5 millennials don't have a trading account, and therefore they just keep cash in the bank. Everybody knows the secret to making money is compounding your money. So if you're getting 0.001 interest, don't expect to be retiring like Richard Branson on Lovely Island, but if you're able to turn your money and get 10, 15, 20, 30% a year by trading and doing investments, then you will have a nice little nest fund at the end when you want to retire, or even just do things like buy houses or whatever it is that you want to do. So what are the benefits of tokenizing? I think the first real big one is this fractional ownership piece, where, you know, there's stuff out there that we'll never get to invest in because, you know, you don't have 100 million or whatever it is. So this particular thing will allow us to own fractions of certain particular investments that we believe are really good, where normally we wouldn't get the chance or opportunity to invest in them. It also there's access to global capital pools because it's across the world and it's a global product. You know, there'll be fairer prices, lower issuance fees, and obviously there'll be increased liquidity because more people will be able to get in on the action. Now, this is an STO, so this is a security. They will offer the STO to start off with to private investors, and they will have a utility token later on. It's the first of its kind in Europe, so it's pretty innovative, and they've been advised by Oric, which is their legal partners. Now, the closest thing that I can sort of compare this to, if people want to go away and, you know, what is it like, is T0. They launched their ICO, I think, at the start of 2018. And one of the big draws, as I talked about before, is this zero commission. So some of the key STO details. So the first thing is, if you're an accredited investor and you've got 150k knocking about, you can get involved with this project. It's got a 5.5 million soft cap, 55 million hard cap, and you'll get a 10.5 quarterly dividend return on investment, which is pretty decent. So if you take the average of the stock market, it's roughly about 10%. So that's not bad. Again, it's a security token, and there'll only be 55 million security tokens offered as well. So let's have a look at the competition. We can clearly see what Sovren offer on the left-hand side. But two projects that really stick out for me are Polymath and T0. There was a lot of noise about this. They were tipped to be the next big thing. Again, I was at a conference the other week, I think it was last week, where they were talking about T0, and actually it's going to take about 2 years for their product to actually come to fruition. So I think that they're in a key marketplace. There doesn't seem to be massive amounts of competition. I think the only one that really looks like they might give them a run for their money is Robinhood, which is obviously the crypto version is Robinhood. So at the moment, this project's ticking a lot of boxes. And these guys have a really aggressive campaign to go after 10 million customers in 2 years, which is incredibly ambitious. So in terms of the roadmap, it's just good to see that everything is spread out over a realistic length of time. So we've got the alpha and also beta trading out by the end of the year, e-money license at the start of next year, and then probably a year's time we'll have the actual exchange launch. So I think some realistic timelines in there, and again there'll be some key challenges as well. So let's have a look at the team. So the first guy is Avijit, and he is the founder and CEO. Now I just picked out a couple of bits from the LinkedIn profile. You can check that out yourself as well. But he was the head of Barclays Digital Banking. He's worked with loads of other banks as well. So there is some key experience there within this digital banking. And obviously with someone like Barclays, generally you would assume that they would be the forefront leaders of this type of technology. Then you've got Wyland as well, which I've actually spoke to him as well. He has very much a digital banking background as well, coupled with project management as well. And when I was looking at the advisors, the main guy that stuck out for me was Guy, and he's worked at SafeCharge, also WorldPay for some period of time. So this payment element is very much runs through all of these guys in terms of experience. They've got a huge team as well. As always, guys, I really appreciate you tuning into my videos. I hope today was useful. Please check out the website, please check out the social media, and I'll catch you on my next video. I'm feeling